Hi folks, and welcome to another edition of An Hour with Bob. I got an interesting guest today. We're going to talk about travel mostly, but before we get into that, I bought this new calendar, and I purposely bought it because of it offers this antidotes. Every day it's a different thing. It tells you something about that date in history, and I want to read a couple of them for you, a few of them for you. January 2nd, 1981, the so-called Yorkshire Ripper, better known as Jack the Ripper, was caught. So you got that one to deal with. Then we got the Panama, this is pertinent to this week. General Noriega, remember him? He was caught or turned himself in. They surrounded the Vatican embassy in Panama, and he gave himself up. You know, kind of what's happened in the last week. That was in January 3rd, 1990. A couple more. 11 nations adopted the euro on January 4th, 1999, but then later Britain backed out. 11 nations got into it and still are in the euro. Here's one of my favorites. January 5th, 1920. Babe Ruth was sold by the Red Sox to the New York Yankees for $125,000. And the reason for it, I'm told, or I found out, was because the owner of the Red Sox at the time wanted the money because he was financing plays or all play in New York City, and he needed the dough. But by the way, $125,000 in 1920, guess what it was worth? What would it be worth today? $2,087,000. $2 million. That's what he sold Babe Ruth for, in essence. Couple more. January 7th, 1789, Congress required states to choose electors for the presidential election. Who was the first president? If you don't know who the first president was of the United States, that would be sad. George Washington. And last but not least, January 6th. Oh, this is a funny one. January 6th, 1936, Porky Pig debuted, creator Mel Blanc. You'd like that. That was January 6th, 1936. That's all, folks. Now to my guest. Connie Wallace has a television show on, I'm understanding she's making a big change too. We'll find out about that. And it is called the Travel Pro,
TV.
right?
Travel Pro
Travel
TV.
Pro TV.
Travel Pro TV.
Welcome, Connie.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for having me.
Nice to see you.
Very nice
We've
to
met
see you,
before,
too.
though. We have crossed paths a couple
We
times.
have met before several times, and one of the big connections is that we have a very good wonderful mutual friend.
Joe Rocco.
That's Joe Rocco.
Yes.
Joe Rocco is a good friend of my husband and I, and his wife is a good friend of mine, the wonderful Diane.
Diane.
Yeah, so not only...
Do you know I photographed their wedding?
You did?
I did. I was a photographer. And I had my assistant, I ran the video, and my assistant ran the camera and had excellent shots. They'll tell you this. And he was 6 years old. That was my son.
Oh my God.
My son's a very good photographer.
I
at 6
have
years
seen
old.
some of their wedding pictures at their home, and they're beautiful. So we know each other through Joe, but we also both happen to be members of the Rhode Island Italian American Hall of Fame.
This is true.
Yes, so we see each other at those events.
I thought I had the pin. Oh, I do.
You do, and I'm sorry I don't have mine on today because I'm very proud of being a member.
Yes.
It's a great organization.
Yep.
In fact, we just saw each other at the event that was the induction of Lydia Bastianich.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was at the Italian American Hall of Fame.
Rhode Island Italian American Hall of Fame. That was at Rhodes on the Patuxent just a couple months ago. And so a quick, cute story about how we are connected to Joe and Diane Rocco. So I do voiceovers. I'm a voiceover actor.
Okay.
In fact, I'm the only, to my knowledge, and I asked the organizations to check this out, there's a couple of big organizations in the country that are awards organizations for voiceover, like the Academy Awards, like the Golden Globes. There's One Voice, there's SOVIS, which is the Society of Voice Actors and Sciences. So I am a national voiceover award-winning voiceover actor.
Wow.
And I believe I'm the only one in Rhode Island. So
Yeah?
anyway, that's my claim to fame. But Joe Rocco, several years ago, number of years ago, found me online
Yep.
to do some voiceover work for him. I had never met him. I
Right.
didn't know who he was, unlike everybody else in Rhode Island who does remember Joe Rocco, because he was the sports anchor on 10.
Channel 10.
For many years.
With Frank
But-
Carpano. Yep.
Yes, but even though I was born and raised in Rhode Island, I moved to the Philadelphia area, South Jersey,
Oh.
suburb of Philadelphia, in, I believe it was 1989, and I was gone for 20 years. So I didn't know who Joe Rocco was,
Right.
but we talked, we worked together on several projects. And then one day he said to me, hey, this event that you did the voiceovers for, because all these different events, they have video tributes,
Yeah.
they need voiceovers.
Joe does a phenomenal job in
He
the
does an
videos.
incredible
Yes,
job on
yes.
these events. So he had me doing the voiceovers. He invited my husband and I to come to one of these events. And he said, let me know if you'll be able to come, because if you can, I'll make sure that you can sit with my wife and I. And I happened to say, what's your wife's name? And he told me his wife's name, including her maiden name. And I said, wait a minute, where is she from originally? And he told me, and I said, oh my God, we were friends when we were teenagers.
No way.
Yes. So way back in ancient times,
Right.
most of the major department stores in the country used to have what they called a teen board. And all the
The teen board? T-E-E-N?
T-E-E-N, teen board. They would hold interviews, and the young ladies would line up around the block at the outlet and at Peerless.
Oh, yeah.
And they would have their little interview, and the outlet and Peerless would select one representative for their teen board from each high school. Well, when I was 15 through 17, I was my high school's representative on the outlet teen board,
What high school?
St. Xavier's.
Oh, St.
St. Xavier's.
You're a
So it
Catholic
was
school
very
girl.
convenient because I just got out of high school and walked down the street and went to the outlet almost every day.
Yep.
And did things with the teen board. It was an incredible, wonderful experience. But there were lots of girls, as you can imagine. There's a lot of high schools in Rhode Island.
Sure.
But one girl who was really my friend, who I remember more than anyone else, was Diane.
Diane.
Now Diane Rocco. So she was her high school representative. And believe it or not, we were able to dig up old pictures that we both had of ourselves together when we were 15, 16, 17 years old.
And that was how many years later?
Oh, I'm not going to say. It was
A lot, right?
a lot of years ago. But it was great because we reconnected and we're so close and we do lots of things, wonderful, fun things together. So that's my connection to Joe and Diane Rocco,
Wow.
besides the Rhode Island Italian American Hall of Fame. But I know you have lots more questions for me, and I told you I could talk a lot, so.
Well, that's all right. Now, how did you start your travel show?
Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little
Travel
bit about my
Pro.
background.
First of all, how'd you name it?
Okay,
Travel
the
Pro
reason
Show.
I named it
What's
the
this pro
Travel
thing?
Pro Show is because there are a lot of travel shows out there. I'm sure
Right.
that you've seen the Samantha Brown, and Rick Steves is wonderful. Most of those are more like travel logs. So you're walking around in the streets of Belgium, whatever,
Right.
with Rick Steves, and the camera crew is following him, and he's great.
Right.
But I wanted my show to be a little different. And the reason I use the word pro is because it is really representative of the show. Because, and I'll get into this in a minute,
Right.
but I have over 30 years experience in the travel industry. Not as a travel agent, although now the correct term is travel advisor.
Oh.
So that's according to ASTA, which is the American Society of Travel Advisors. But I have my experience from the supplier side. So
What
I
do you mean the
worked
supplier side?
the suppliers who work with the travel industry, cruise lines, resort chains, destinations.
Right.
So that's my experience is travel industry marketing. And I spent many, many years with these different companies, with Universal Orlando, with MSC Cruises, which is a European brand,
MS what?
MSC Cruises.
No, I was going to ask you about that cruise line because they got a bad, from what I heard, they had a bad rap a while back.
Okay, a while back, but let me just say this. I worked with them twice. I was
Yep.
their regional manager for the Mid-Atlantic when I lived in the Philadelphia area. And when we moved back to my home state of Rhode Island,
Right.
I became their New England manager. So they have always been very big in Europe, not so
Right.
much here.
Right.
But
Which Europeans have a different
exactly
way of
so,
cruising.
as far as MSC, if you know what you're expecting, it's very Mediterranean,
Exactly.
very different.
Yep.
However, they have so many new ships now, and many of those ships are based in the United States. They're not just sending ships from Europe. Those ships are purpose-built. They're built for the United States.
Right.
Their cuisine is different. Their entertainment is different.
Yep.
Their crew is different.
The amount of food is different because Americans eat more than Europeans.
Yeah, which is
do.
not a good thing.
Not a good thing, but it's true. But it's so
you're
true.
right in a sense, Bob, that Americans didn't really have a good feeling for MSC in the
Right,
beginning.
right.
But those
Because
things
it was
have
different to them.
changed.
It was different
It
to
was
them to go to
different.
Europe. And I try to explain to
Yep.
people that.
It was different, and that comes back to travel advisors too. And I am a big advocate for travel advisors. But when people don't use them, travel
advisors
agents,
site-
travel advisors.
I'll tell you about it. My experience with travel
Okay,
advisors. Go
okay.
ahead.
There's a wide range of them out there.
Yep.
Anyway, if people don't work with a travel advisor, then they don't know what to expect from an experience or a destination or a product, such as a cruise line. So the travel advisors really can tell you what to expect. And
Right.
case in point, MSC Cruises. Anyway, I worked for MSC. I worked for Universal Orlando. I was one of the first 5 people in the country to be hired to be put in the field as a field regional marketing manager for Universal back when they were still just a little movie studio theme park, but they had everything else on the drawing board.
Right.
City Walk and Islands of Adventure and all the on-site hotels, and now the whole Harry Potter area and new things that are coming as well. So it was just
I like
me.
Universal better than Disney.
I love Universal.
Much better.
That was an incredible experience. It was literally a dream come true for me.
I'll bet. I would love to
wanted
have
do
that
And
job.
I was there for many years. Unfortunately, what happens is that in the travel industry, every world event, every geopolitical event,
Right.
everything that happens in terms of pandemics, wars, conflicts, everything affects the travel industry. So as a result, on October 16th, 2001, think
Right.
about
Oh my God! Right
All of-
after 9/11.
all of us lost our jobs.
Oh God!
So no one was going to theme parks. No one was getting on planes unless they
Right.
really had to.
Yep.
So this brings me to how I pivoted. So I had always been in the travel industry, working in that capacity, but had to do something else. And that's when I became the midday host on WNJC radio in South Jersey. And I did that for about a year.
Yep.
And I also did some television, some infomercials, segments, things like that in the Philadelphia market. I did an episode, in fact, of the Forensic Files. So
Oh, no kidding.
I had
Yeah.
some television on-camera experience.
Right.
I had a lot of radio experience. When things settled down, I did go back into the travel industry. This time I went to Apple Vacations because
I've used Apple Vacations.
and I was a group
before.
director with them.
Right.
But I was used to being out in the field. So I didn't like staying in an office all the time. That's when I went to MSC and stayed with them quite a while. But then we moved to Florida. That's another episode. We moved to Florida for 3 years. And,
Where? What part of Florida?
Palm Coast, which is right on the East Coast, in between San Augustine and Daytona.
Right.
Lived there for 3 years, had my own business, totally unrelated to travel. Convinced my husband, who's not originally from Rhode Island but absolutely loves it here, to move with me back to my home state, moved me
Right.
back to my home state
Yep.
of Rhode Island, and I went back to work for MSC Cruises. I was there for a number of years, and then I made a switch over to Princess Cruises
Nice.
and Cunard. So at the same time, I represented both brands
Wow.
as the New England manager for Princess Cruises and Cunard, who, as you know, are the Queen ships. So
Right, yeah.
Queen Mary,
Queen
Queen
Mary,
Elizabeth,
yes,
Queen Victoria, and now
exactly.
Queen Anne.
Yep.
However, I always had in the back of my mind that I wanted to do a radio show about travel because I had spent time on radio.
Right.
As time went by, that radio show kind of morphed into a podcast because that's the direction that everything was going in.
Right, right.
So I planned, I prepared, I educated myself, I invested in equipment, and at the end of 2019, I retired from Princess and Cunard, and January 2020, I launched my own travel podcast called the Travel Pro Show Podcast. And that was great.
Now, where'd you do the podcast from?
I did it actually in my own. My husband built me a little studio.
Because I was thinking
at
about doing
home.
a podcast.
Yeah.
I was thinking
did
about
that.
doing a podcast of the show, like I could do
Yeah,
right
you could
here.
absolutely
Right?
do this. You could duplicate this exactly what you're doing as a podcast.
Right.
Yeah. So I did all that. I did all this preparation. I did all this training, and launched
Wasn't
this
that just right
podcast.
after the pandemic?
It was January of 2020. Think about
A
it.
month later.
No, January of 2020. So it's COVID-19, right? So it really happened in 2019.
Right, yeah, that's true.
But we didn't really know about it.
Right, until the January.
March 3rd. So I launched this podcast in January of 2020.
Oh, you launched in January.
It was
That's
on-
why you corrected me.
Yeah,
Because
it was on every podcast platform. It was doing really well.
Oh, God.
And then March happened.
Boom.
So I had all this equipment, I had all this training, and I thought, what do I do with this now?
Right.
Well, you can't do a podcast about travel when nobody can travel.
But what about the cruise lines? What a beating
Oh,
they took.
nobody could travel.
Holy
Everything was
God.
shut down and really decimated. So I pivoted again. I'm good at pivoting. I pivoted again, and I got back into just doing voiceovers.
Right.
So, and that's how I came into contact with Joe Rocco, and he actually was instrumental in getting my TV show put together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's how radio and podcast turned into a TV show, and here we are today. So
Now, I
have
know
this
you're
great
changing,
show.
but where was your TV show airing? What is it here?
It has been on WNAC, which is Fox Providence.
Right.
Yeah.
What's your
Produced by
Channel
the Channel
11
12.
or
It's Channel 11.
511 if
yes,
you have.
Yes, yeah.
I have
you know,
Verizon, so it's
stay
511.
tuned for some changes
You
and
got
check
some changes
your local
coming up, right?
listings and times.
Right? You're changing networks?
I'm not saying anything. I'm not
No?
saying anything. No,
I
no,
just
no.
said it, though.
Not saying that you said anything. Nope. Nothing
changing networks?
Nothing
No.
is finalized. So
No.
I'm just going to say that we're making some changes. In a lot of different ways, we're making some changes.
Right.
Not just where and when, but check your local listings because look for Travel Pro TV, and you can also go on Facebook
Right.
and find my Facebook page, which is Travel Pro TV, and we'll have all kinds of announcements there. And we also have our own YouTube channel, of course, like you do.
Right.
So all of our past episodes, I think we have 39 episodes so far,
Right.
are there on YouTube. So if you just go, I want to make sure I remember exactly what the link is. Let's see, it is YouTube channel, and it is just Travel Pro TV with Connie Wallace. So look for that.
Travel
Pro
Show-
TV with Connie Wallace
Right.
on YouTube, and also Travel Pro TV on Facebook.
Now, I've been trying to figure out how to get the YouTube. Is there any way to get the YouTube more subscribers to YouTube to get to you?
Well, yeah, you just take that link and put it on your social media, and then boost those posts and
No, I
pay
know
for
you get
ads
that,
and-
but I mean to get it national, to get it out there. Is there a way you can buy?
You can't really buy it. You really have to promote it. And you are buying it because you're paying for ads.
Right.
You're paying to advertise. So that's how you get more viewers.
Right.
So, yeah, so here we are. So what's your next question? Because if you don't
Oh.
have one, I have to go back to
Well, wait a
something
minute
we were
now.
talking
You
about.
wrote this question, so don't. It isn't
Okay.
like I'm coming up with this.
Okay.
What makes you a travel pro, and what qualifies you to host a show about travel?
Okay, well, I just told you a
You did,
little
you
bit
did.
about
So
that,
we're
so
gonna-
my background.
Right.
But I also, There is a course called CTC. Actually, it's
CTC?
CTA and CTC. And what that means is CTA is Certified Travel Advisor.
Yep.
And CTC is Certified Travel Counselor. It's a pretty intense course. It's a 2-year course.
Oh, wow.
And thick books. Now it's all online, but when I did it, it was these
Right.
very big, thick binders and an entire day of exams. And I was put through that course when I worked for Universal Orlando. So I do hold this designation of CTC, which in the industry is considered a master's degree in this business.
Oh, wow.
So I do have that certification. I also was put through some marketing and sales certifications through the Wharton School of Business. So I have a pretty strong background.
Right.
But it's really all the experience that I have, having worked
Nothing
for-
beats experience.
Nothing beats experience, and the actual travel destination experiences and seeing all these different properties, resorts, cruise
Right.
ships, and everything
What's your favorite
else.
location?
My favorite personal location
Yeah.
is Paris.
Really? My son says that all the time.
It's Paris.
My
I
son says
absolutely-
that. He's been trying to get me to go there for years, and I haven't been. And you know what's sad? I'm Italian, right? Not all
You're
the time.
Italian. Have you been to Italy?
Never. Get this one.
That's a sacrilege.
3 times. 3 times it was X because of incidents.
Oh.
It was X because of the pandemic, right?
Yeah, well, that's what happens.
And before that, how about this one? I was all set to go to judge an international kickboxing event in Milan, Italy, years ago, and the world champion, who was Greek, but he was from Australia, was doing a warm-up at Foxwoods like a month earlier. We had all set to go. I'm going to spend 10, 12 days in Italy, all expenses paid, great deal. But that my job, I have to deal with the fight and the world championship. And I can tell you some of the stories when I did it in Morocco and I did it in Hungary. It's dangerous actually to be an American judge over some of these countries.
Sure.
Anyway, I'm all set, all ready to go. It wasn't even a month. It was only a couple of weeks before. They got a tune-up. It's supposed to be a tune-up. He's fighting this nobody in Connecticut at Foxwoods Casino. I'm there watching the fight. Second round, the guy gets lucky, kicks him in the ankle, breaks his ankle. He breaks the ankle of the champion. The world champion goes down in the second round. He gets beat by a nobody. Now he can't fight. His ankle's broke. Broke, shattered.
Broken.
Like this, dangling.
Not sprained.
Yeah, both bones broke right off.
Wow.
So he's done. So guess what? So am I, because no trip to Italy. And how about this one? No, I'll give you one more, the third one.
We have to get you to Italy.
We got the pandemic, we got the leg breaking, and the first one was the bombing of the Rome airport. I was scheduled to go the next day. They bombed the airport the day before. Thank God it wasn't there. It was there, but that canceled that. So 3 times I've tried to go to Italy, and 3 times it got X. And the irony of it is, my son loves Italy. He's probably been there 10 or 12 times. He goes twice a year now. He used to go once a year. Now, in the last couple of years, he's gone. In fact, he just came back last month, and he's always saying, "Come on, Dad, come on." But see, I'm alone. I'm not married. I ain't going alone and paying for a hotel room for one, and do everything with one, because I'm not going to be with them. I'm not going to stay in their room.
Right.
So if I found the right person to go with,
Bob, you can't take it with you. You
Go
have
anyway?
to go to Italy.
go
you
alone.
have to go. Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, maybe I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with cruising. Now, I've done cruising a couple of times alone, but you got to pay for the whole cabin if you go
Okay,
alone.
so there are many cruise lines now that have solo cabins. So
Really?
you're not paying double occupancy.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, there are quite a few that are doing that now, and that's becoming more of a trend. Do you know how many cruise lines there are today?
I got to be 15.
Oh, Bob, there are over 80 cruise lines
Cut it
today.
out. Oh, yeah, you got all those little rinky-dink ones.
Oh, no, I'm not even talking about those. the number of cruise lines is growing incredibly every year. So don't forget that we're not just talking about your basic mass market cruise lines that we talked about before we came on
Right.
the air. We're talking about river cruises, expedition
Viking
cruises.
and all those
yeah,
other ones.
yeah. Well, Viking's just one. There's many.
My
many.
son likes that too, the river cruises.
River cruising, expedition cruising.
Yes,
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
Antarctic or
yeah.
something like,
Windjammer style cruising.
Right, yeah, that I couldn't handle.
Yeah,
To
you
be
know,
like this all
but
the
it's
time.
something for everyone, really. And then, of course, the size of the cruise ships varies greatly.
And by the way, right here in Rhode Island, Blunt, building the ships
Yeah.
to go up to Montreal.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a wonderful itinerary, by the way. If
Yeah.
you can do a New England, Canada itinerary
Yeah.
in the early fall, that's
Really?
beautiful.
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
because I love Montreal anyway, so that would be, they start in New York, right?
Some in New York, some
some in
other.
Boston?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
And
But you know, you can go to the Caribbean from New York too.
Oh, yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, you can go to Bermuda from Boston.
All right,
certain times
of
the
the
year.
islands, which island do you like the best?
I actually happen to like the Dominican Republic.
Really?
Yeah, I like it very much.
No, I haven't been to the Dominican Republic.
Yeah, we've been many, many times. They have some absolutely beautiful resorts there. We just got back last month, stayed at a beautiful resort there. And really, you can't go wrong. The people are very, very friendly and just so hospitable. And it's a great way to recharge that kind of, we like to do, well, we do at least 2 trips
Now,
a
you
year.
fly there? Or
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We fly there. And speaking of flying, I'm a big advocate for Providence Airport.
Oh, I
We
love
are
that. I
so
absolutely, I
lucky.
try so hard to book a flight.
We
People
are
say, well, if
very
you fly out
lucky.
of Providence, you have a connection. I would rather have the connection.
I would rather have a connection.
Because there's nothing better
Than
than
to
when you
deal
get
with
home.
Logan.
When you get home and you're 20 minutes from home.
You know, we joke and say everything in Rhode Island is only 12 minutes away.
Right, right.
And it really is.
Like I'm flying out of Boston. I couldn't get a flight out of Providence to go to Texas. I had, yeah, I know it.
Really?
I had a travel that got messed up last year when I messed up my knee. So I canceled the flight. So now I had that travel credit and I had to use it up in a year. And I did get them to extend it a few months. And I'm flying out of Boston, which I hate. Because now the other thing is it's costly to go to Boston if you hire a car to take you to Boston.
Okay, so here's what I say, what I tell people. Take the bus. Take the,
Yeah, but the bus don't go that early in the morning, does it?
Wait a minute. Peter Pan bus
Yep,
from Providence.
only a mile from my house.
Right off 194, right off 95,
95,
rather.
yeah.
Free parking there. You leave your car there. It's free. They don't
Really?
charge you for parking. And Peter Pan is very comfortable. They're luxury motor coaches. You have Wi-Fi. You can plug in your devices.
Right.
They take you right to your terminal.
Okay.
So it's not like you have
And what
to
do they charge
walk.
for that?
Oh my God! I think it's like $20 each
Cut
way.
it out. No
Yeah.
way. But
Yeah.
wait a minute, what time? What's the earliest time they
I
go?
don't know off the top of
'Cause
my
that's
head.
a problem. I got a very early
But
flight.
okay, so then you have to stay the night before. Just go the night before. I know. See,
And then
it's
there you
not
go
worth-
again. That's why Providence is so convenient because you don't have to
Providence
stay. You
is
don't have to stay in a hotel the night
wonderful,
before.
Wonderful. Yeah. Yeah. The only time we use Logan is really when
International?
It's Europe. It's international.
Right.
But even to go to the Dominican Republic or Mexico or Jamaica, there's easy connections out of Providence.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Some of
Yeah.
the connections I love, like South Carolina. That's a great airport.
We like BWI.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Airport is really nice.
I'm a Baltimore Oriole fan, so I used to fly there a lot to go to see the Orioles play.
Yeah.
Back, remember when Southwest first started?
Yes.
They had flights $29.
Yeah.
And I used to say to people, I can go to Baltimore and watch the Red Sox play in Baltimore. Pay for the flight, the hotel, for the same or less money than it would cost me to buy tickets to go to Boston and park.
Yeah, well, BWI Airport is a great place to connect from Providence for many of these destinations. They have lots of options for food. They even have a little diner there.
Oh, they got, yeah.
It's
yeah.
really
they got pretty good
convenient.
food. And you can even get crab cakes there.
Yes, you can. You can get real
Chesapeake
Baltimore
Bay,
crab cakes.
I love them. Chesapeake Bay crab
yeah.
cakes are the best.
Yeah. So yeah, I would
But
much
but
rather
how
use
about
Providence.
DC airport?
No,
I don't like that at all.
No,
I don't like the way you
BWI.
have to come in like that, right?
I go out
right
of my
over the
way to
highway.
make that connection instead of someplace else.
Remember the plane that hit the abutment coming down,
Yeah.
down a little.
Yeah.
His wheels hit the damn abutment coming down.
Yeah.
I don't like that airport.
Yeah.
Plus, they've had a lot of trouble. They have a couple incidents there this past
Yeah,
year.
no, I like BWI. So, but we like the Dominican Republic for resorts. I did say my favorite destination really is Paris, which is funny because I'm Italian.
Right.
So this is interesting too, and I wonder if you did this. So I was brought up, told my parents were first generation American.
Right.
All my grandparents came from Italy. So I was always told I was 100% Italian. So fast forward all these years.
You're Irish too.
No, I'm not Irish.
French.
Part French,
Yep.
part Middle Eastern.
Cut it out.
How weird
Where
is
the
that?
hell that come from?
Where'd that come from? I wish I could
The
tell
mailman.
I
The
so wish I
mailman.
could. No, because I'm connected with everybody else in my family, immediate and extended family. But you know, even siblings have different DNA.
Oh,
So,
I know.
Yeah, so I have very different DNA, and you know, I just wish I could tell my parents that. What you know, what's strange though, is now we've been to Italy many times, and I absolutely do love Italy
What
as well.
part?
Rome, not Milan. I like to go there. Florence.
My son's favorite place is
Naples,
Florence.
Sorrento, La Spezia.
What part of Italy is your family from?
From the Naples area.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
my family's
Napolitano.
from Mezza Carrera, the north in Tuscany.
Oh, I do have a little northern Italian in me too,
Right.
which is interesting because my parents didn't know that. They thought, oh no, we're all southern Italian. So now, always loved Italy, loved to go there, love everything about it. But the first time my husband took me to Paris, it was a special birthday. And I swear, as soon as I stepped on the ground, I felt like I'm home.
Really?
I had this overwhelming feeling of feeling like I belonged there.
But again, you're
And
part
I
French.
didn't know that yet.
Yeah.
I didn't know that for years later.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that DNA, that whole thing is interesting, really fascinating.
Well, who has better food?
Oh God, that's
Italian or French?
yeah, it's apples and oranges. It's apples and oranges.
Yeah.
I don't know. But my high school French did come in handy.
Me too. Well, we talked about this off camera. I
come in
took
handy.
4 years of French, and I can't speak 5 words of it.
Well, you'd be surprised. It kind of comes back to you. You think, oh, I didn't even know that was still stored in my brain.
Really?
But it is. At least you can order a croissant, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But okay, other favorite things about travel. My favorite cruise itinerary, believe it or not, is it was on the Queen Mary. Favorite cruise experience and favorite itinerary.
Right.
Queen Mary from Brooklyn to Southampton, England. 7
Wow.
nights at sea.
See, I love at sea.
I
love
love
at
at
sea
sea.
because you get to really enjoy the ship when you're
I
at
love
sea.
the at sea days.
People think I'm crazy because I say that all
but
the time.
you know what? I grew up on a boat. My dad had a 42-foot Chris Craft.
Okay.
And I was on that from the time I was born. My mother used to love to tell people that she used to hang my diapers on the boat. But anyway, so I grew up on a boat. So I've never gotten seasick.
Well, come
knock
on,
on
those
wood.
ships, you don't get seasick on those
No, but
boats.
I've been on ships where the whole crew was sick and I wasn't.
Well, yeah.
So, but today is different. The
Well,
stabilizers,
and that was,
everything.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
With the
that was a long
stabilizers
time
on the
ago.
boat, they're like wings.
Oh,
They
oh,
hold
yeah,
the boat from.
you don't even feel
It's
like
not
you're
like years
moving.
ago.
No, no.
I remember being on the festival. Do you remember
The
that ship?
festival, yeah, yeah.
The Carnival's festival.
Yes, yeah.
And the Mardi Gras. I was
Yeah.
on those ships.
Yeah.
I've been on 13 cruises.
The Mardi Gras was their first ship.
I know.
And that's why they became known as the fun ships, because
Right.
that first sailing, ran aground.
Yes.
And they had to open the bar to everyone. So when the people were so drunk,
They didn't
after
care.
a few days when they got off, they said, wow, this was a fun ship.
Right.
And they stuck
Wow.
with it. Yeah.
Wow.
But 7 nights at sea, to me, that was heaven, especially on the Queen Mary, which is this incredibly beautiful, elegant ship that has, oh my goodness, it has the world's biggest floating library. It's 2 levels. They have their own planetarium. You have high tea every day, which, you know, the first day we had high tea, and my husband and I were like, oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. The scones and the clotted cream and the fruits and the little tea sandwiches. And we thought, we're not going to do this every day because we gain so much weight. We can't do this every day.
Right.
No. Every day after that, we were like, it's time for tea.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite cruise experience so far, but I have so many others that were incredible. Great. I've probably been on, I don't know, 35, 40 cruises.
Wow. I was on a cruise one time with a friend, a buddy of mine, and we'd never been on a ship or anything. He was like in awe the whole time. And we go to dinner, the dress-up night. And we had, the first night we go to, I like the big tables. I like to be at a table of 10, 8 or 10.
Meet all new people.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you get to interact with people. And we're sitting in the crowd, and I'll never forget this woman. Her name was Babes, Babs. Babs or Babes, I can't remember. Babs. Sitting right across from me. And ironically, she was from Baltimore. And right away, she announced that this is my table. I went, what? She goes, every cruise I've been on 42 cruises, and every cruise I run the table. I go, really?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you mean you run the table? Well, you watch. And she's telling the waiters to do this and do that, and she's really controlling things. And it was okay, it was fun. But after a couple of days, it got a little nasty. I got, not nasty, but obnoxious. So the first dress-up night, before that we had stopped in Puerto Rico. And we're going into these different shops, and my buddy wants to buy everything, because he's never been on a ship before, never been on a cruise, never been anywhere. So he's looking at something. I buy 2 squirt guns. He don't know it. I don't tell him. So we get back to the ship. That night, it's a dress-up night. So we get ready to dress up. I load the squirt guns with water. I still don't tell him. We get in there. He's sitting beside of me. He's sitting on this side of me. Babs is right across from me, and this girl from Long Island's next to her. I call her Long Island Red because she had red hair. Very nice girl, but she was like the understudy to Babs, I guess. So they're across from me. They got dresses on, of course, and we order food and whatever, and they start eating. I get under the table and we just finished the dinner. We're just getting the desserts, and I get under the table and I squirt like 7 or 8 squirts. And I dumped the squirt gun, but I put the other squirt gun next to my buddy. He didn't even see it. He didn't know it. He didn't know it. So she jumps up. What the hell? And she looks over and she sees the squirt gun
Next to him.
Next to him. So she calls over the maitre d', first the waiter, and then asks for the maitre d'. Maitre d' comes over. She's arguing with my buddy who has no idea what the hell's going on, right? So while they're arguing, and by the way, I don't even drink. While they're discussing it, and he's denying it, of course, because he didn't know anything, I pick my squirt gun up, and I squirt the maitre d'. You know what he does? He grabbed the other squirt gun and squirted me back. So now it was the captain's night, so the captain's like 5 tables away, and you got the maitre d' and me having a squirt gun fight, and we're hitting other people, and other people either laughing or getting mad, one or the other. And the captain got involved in it, and it ended up being funny because a whole bunch of people were squirting each other, throwing water at each other. It was crazy. It was so much.
That's really funny. But just a little disclaimer: I don't recommend this kind of behavior on a cruise.
My other one you wouldn't.
Today you might get thrown off in port. In the next
other
port.
one you wouldn't recommend is taking a roll of toilet paper. Are you familiar with this?
No.
If you take a roll...
Do we really want to tell people? Okay.
If you take a roll of toilet paper, well, I love to mess around. I love to have fun. If you take a roll of toilet, you know how obviously the toilet's a vacuum flush, right?
Yes.
You take a roll of toilet paper and you stick one end of the toilet paper in the toilet, and you unroll it a little bit and take it and run it down the corridor. It unrolls down the corridor and flush the toilet. See what happens.
Oh, God.
The thing comes down all the way down the corridor like. Then, as soon as I did that, other people in the rooms around started doing the same thing, to the point it got so involved that the captain got on a loudspeaker and he says, whoever's doing that, you better stop because we only have so much toilet paper on this ship.
Well, and not only that, it's all fun and games until every toilet on your deck is
It's
clogged.
clogged. Or you don't have any toilet paper.
Or there's no more toilet paper.
Right.
Until
But
the
I met a
next
girl.
port.
I met a girl because of that. I met a girl on that ship because.
Well,
of
if
that.
it works.
She thought I was a hot ticket.
Well, that you are,
From
Bob.
where the hell was she from? Indianapolis, Indiana.
So we need to get you to Italy, and we need to get you to France and lots
Right.
of other places. So that means that we need to get you a really good travel advisor. And believe me, because of my experience and my background and all the years, my clients were the travel agencies and the travel agents and
Right.
advisors. And so what I'm getting at is that our title sponsor for our show, I handpicked out of every travel agency in the country. As I said, there are different types of travel agencies, lots of different levels of travel advisors.
Right.
This particular travel agency, who is our title sponsor, they're called World Travel Inc. They're located in Pennsylvania, and they have close to 500 actual employees. They're not
Wow.
independent contractors. They're not
And
people.
it's not AI, actual people.
Actual people.
Right.
Not, well, I'm saying actual employees.
Right,
As
right.
opposed to independent contractors who are not vetted, not trained, not supervised. And what really appealed to me as well is that they are women owned and that they are employee owned. So all the employees have a real, stock in
Investment. They have an investment.
what happens and
Right.
how they handle their clients. Not only that, but they have their own staffed 24/7 call center. So if
That's
you are
important.
anywhere in the
That
world
is huge.
and
That is huge.
anything goes wrong, from the smallest thing, you're on a cruise and you requested early dining, but they put you in late dining and they won't change it, you call your travel advisor, because this company, I can't even tell you how many bookings they make per year with these partners, their supplier
Right.
partners, the cruise lines, the hotel resort chains, etc. So they have a lot of clout. So you will get action, you will get everything solved very quickly, as far as even, flight delays, well, not much you can do about that. Flight interruptions. What's been going on right now in the Caribbean, especially in Aruba?
What happened last week?
If there was ever a real good example for having a real travel
Right,
advisor,
right.
that would be one of them. But I have a million other stories about why. In fact, I did a whole episode called Why You Should Always Use a Travel Advisor. So World Travel Inc. is our title sponsor, and we have some other sponsors as well. I like to have sponsors that really do lend themselves to what we do, to travel. And it doesn't mean just travel specifically like airlines and hotels and cruise lines, but also, for example, I would really like, so if anybody's listening, if you know anyone, contact
Watching.
me, because I would really love to have a full service pet boarding company to be one of our sponsors.
A pet boarding company?
Yes, because
Oh,
we
to take care of the pet while you're away.
Yeah, because we
Oh, absolutely.
adore our dog.
Yep.
She's like our child, and we're lucky that we have a family member that will stay with her, because most of our travelers have animals, they have pets.
Exactly.
And they want to be able to have someone that they can count on.
Exactly. And you
that
don't
they
want your
feel
dog. You don't want your
comfortable
dog in
You don't want
concrete
your dog
with
in
a
a
chain link
no, that's
concrete.
not what we want. We want comfortable, and we want them to have care. We want them to have someone to stay with them at night.
You know what I did? I used to have a dog. I had a dog for 13 years. I used to put him up, but I would never put him in one of those places.
No, I would
'cause
never
All
either.
it is a cage. It's a cage with cement, and they can go back inside, I guess, sometime at night. But it's not comfortable. It's
No.
not cozy.
No, no, no.
They have no contact with humans.
No, not good at all.
Really no contact.
No.
So I got a hold of somebody that was studying to be a veterinarian.
Uh-huh.
A college girl.
Yeah.
And she took my dog home.
Yeah.
For,
Well, we've had
for
people.
8 days,
We do
and she
have-
didn't want to give my dog back after.
Yeah, we do have, well, you know what? We do sort of the same thing when we can't have a family member. We actually have a pet sitter that will stay, and our requirement is you have to stay in our home. and you have to sleep in our guest room, and she has to sleep, the dog has to sleep with you because she's
No
used to sleeping with
way.
us. And so that's what we do. But not everybody can do that. So I'd love to have a great
Plus, you got to
pet
be
boarding company.
pretty certain of the person they're going to see in your house.
Of course. Yeah, and you do the background check and that whole thing. But not everybody can do that. But, and other sponsors like we just had an episode not too long ago with Optics in Johnston. And I mentioned them to you. In fact, in one of our messages, we were talking about cataract surgery. I had the Dr. Giulio Diamante there,
Yep.
did my cataract surgery, and it is like night and day. I need no glasses for reading, for driving, nothing. It's amazing. But also, his wife, Lynn, who is the CEO,
Lynn.
you know Lynn. So I had her as a guest on my show, and this is just to illustrate how certain products and services lend themselves to travel. We did this whole wonderful episode all about eyewear, all about protective eyewear, what kind of sunglasses you should have. You can't take the same pair of sunglasses everywhere in the world. It doesn't serve the same purpose. So there's sunglasses for high sun intensity, for polar regions, for reflection from snow, for skiing, for all different types of travel and different needs. So there we go.
Sunglasses and glasses. A friend of mine, he just got them from Italy. He's been working on this invention for almost 2 decades. And to get all the patents, he had to get the international patent, which took years, plus the US patent. And he has these glasses that work, they don't touch your nose and they don't touch your ears. You wear a hat, a baseball hat, and they connect to the baseball hat, and they can flip down or flip up just like a baseball player does in the sun. The glasses are, they're really, really good quality, top quality. They're made by a company in Italy. They're designed by a company in Italy. He just got them last week. The hinges on them, they're so, you can tell this is top quality. And
big difference from going to a drugstore and
you're going to see a big splash about
sunglasses.
these glasses pretty soon. He got 1,000 pair, he got the first order of 1,000 pair, and they're going to be marketed very soon. They're awesome. And one of the reasons I don't like glasses is because I don't like them touching the ridge of my nose. It drives me crazy.
Yeah. Especially when you're on TV. Yeah.
Right, you get
these
the
little marks.
mark there, plus on your ears, this doesn't touch either. They go on the inside the band on the hat. They connect on the band on the hat, and like I said, you can flip them up, you can flip them down. If you're using your glasses or you're not using your glasses, you can put regular lenses in them, your reading glasses, or you can put your distance glasses or your sunglasses. The ones he has come with these beautiful Polaroid sunglasses. You can tell the quality of the lenses too is right there.
Well, and eyewear, the right eyewear is just an example of one of the many types of products and services and topics that lend itself to travel. So our show does have a little bit of a different demographic. It's a little bit older and it's a little more higher income. It is people that love to travel.
Right.
So they have the income, they have the spendable, the money to buy luxury items. They enjoy luxury experiences. So because we're making some changes, we are looking for some new sponsors. So if anybody's interested, wonderful boutiques, menswear, restaurants, of course, lots of different services, home cleaning. People that travel a lot, they don't want to waste time spending, hours and hours cleaning their home. They want somebody to do it for them.
Right.
Same thing with lawn care, those kind of things. So
Well, it's all service industry, all the service industry, right?
Yeah. So it's sort of the ideal vehicle for reaching that right audience.
The demographic.
The right
demographic.
Those advertisers. Did you drop some of my questions or?
No, I threw them on the floor.
Oh, okay.
After I did them, I threw them on the floor.
Okay.
All right, how do you choose your guests?
Okay, well, that's an interesting question because
it's your question.
There you go. It's kind of like Stephen Colbert. David Letterman used to do that, right? Throwing it.
Not my favorite guy, Stephen Colbert.
Well, Letterman used to do that too, remember? Even Johnny Carson did that. Oh,
That-
no,
that's
I'm
my
really,
guy.
really aging myself, dating myself.
Johnny Carson.
So I talked about our title sponsor, who was this wonderful company in Pennsylvania, World
Right.
Travel Inc. And they actually choose our guests. Most of the time.
Really?
95% of the time, they choose and book our guests because these are companies that they have relationships with.
Sure, yeah.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So it's not just the mainstream. You know, yes, we do have episodes, and you can see them again on YouTube, on our YouTube channel. But we have episodes with Royal Caribbean and Carnival and Ama Waterways, which is a wonderful river cruise company, and Kensington Tours and National Geographic Lindblad Expeditions.
Oh, yeah.
But we also have these more niche products and destinations that the general public would probably not know about
Never
unless they
even know
watch our
about.
show.
Right.
So we had an episode with the founder and president, this wonderful, charming man who came to us from Italy, came to Rhode Island from Italy
Yep.
to do our show from his company called IDI Travel, which stands for Italian Dreams Imagined.
I've
So-
seen that somewhere.
You may have seen my show.
Yeah.
So that was all about Italy and France and Morocco. We had another one called Wanderlust Voyages, and that's all about Morocco as well.
Have you been to Morocco?
So I have not been to Morocco, but it's on my bucket
I
list.
have. I have.
You have?
I have.
You've been to Morocco, but not Italy?
Can you imagine?
go figure.
And I've been to Marrakesh. I've been to Rabat.
And I've always wanted to go to Marrakesh, and I think it's
Casablanca.
because of the song.
Oh my God, Marrakesh
Marrakesh
has,
Express.
has yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It has the biggest, I call it the biggest outside flea market in
Right,
the world.
right.
And I was there with the guy playing the tune for the snake to come out, the cobra, the king cobra
Yeah.
to come out. I was standing right behind the guy blowing the. He's right in the area on the grounds. The grounds are immense. It's like for miles. A lot of it's outside. Some of it's in not tents, but they got tops on it, but no sides. And then
Right,
some
right.
of them inside. And quick story. You know this? You ever watched the TV series, The Amazing Race?
No, I haven't watched, but I know of it.
The Amazing Race, they go different countries and they have to find this card, and the card gives them clues to the next place. Well, I'm in Marrakesh. I'm in Marrakesh, Morocco, and I meet this guy, interview this guy, and he's selling Persian rugs. And the rugs are 5 feet stack of Persian rugs,
Yeah.
and you're walking between them like you're walking in a canyon. And I talked to the guy, interviewed the guy. I put it on Bob's Big Adventure, my other show, a couple weeks later, and I'm watching that very night. I'm watching The Amazing Race, and they end up in Morocco. And the weirdest thing, they end up in this guy with the carpets, and they end up. He hands him the damn clue. The very guy that I interviewed
Wow.
in Morocco.
What a
Yeah.
coincidence that is.
And I went to Casablanca another time because my buddies wouldn't go. It was a
Iconic
5.5-hour
destination.
bus ride, so I said, hell with it, I'm going. So I went there because I want to see Christopher's, where Bogey and Bacall played against
Right,
Sam.
of course.
I get off the bus, I'm walking down the street, and tens of thousands of people. I'm on the median. There's traffic, 2 lanes this way, 2 lanes that way. It's all kinds of people with bicycles and these different motorized little bikes and stuff.
All the
but-
lyrics of Marrakesh Express.
well, all right. Well, all of a sudden, everybody hits the ground. I'm looking around. It was like the end of the world. I'm looking around. Everybody is on the ground but Bob Venturini. I'm looking like this, and there's tens of thousands of people. I don't know how it happened, but they got the clue that it was time to pray. And they all hit the ground, and they all started praying on the ground.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then after that, I go to Christopher's. It was torn down.
Oh.
Yep, that was the end of that one.
Well, nostalgia and those kind of trips are very big right now. So people love to do theme trips, not just for example, your ancestry type, DNA kind of trips.
Right.
But also, what's really big right now is going places that you see in culture, pop culture, in the media. Like you're talking about the movie Casablanca.
Right.
So my husband and I did this all-day tour in Liverpool.
Oh, for the
The
Beatles.
Magical Mystery Tour, which I have
Yeah?
been waiting over 60 years to do.
Wow.
That was incredible.
I'll bet it was.
There are trips in Scotland that are based on Outlander, the TV series.
Oh, wow.
So all kinds of things like that.
Well, yeah, you can go to New Zealand and
So many different types of
everything.
travel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Again, where can we see your travel show?
You have to check the local listings
Okay,
for
it's
times and
changing, right?
dates.
Travel
It's called
Pro
Travel
TV.
Pro TV. Check the major networks
Okay.
in the area.
Travel Pro
And
TV.
you can
folks.
also go to my Facebook page, which is Travel Pro TV, because
Travel
we'll
Pro
have
TV.
all the details there, all the announcements. And how much more time do we have?
You only got a minute. Yeah.
Wow.
You've done an hour with Bob, that kid.
Wow, see?
It goes
This
by
went
faster
by
than
so
you think.
fast.
It does. It goes by faster than you
Yeah.
think.
Well, you have another question for me?
Well, last but not least, well, how you can watch the show.
Right. We did that.
And how long have you been doing the show?
Let's see. We've done about 39 episodes. We
Wow.
started in March, and we have reruns right now through the holidays, of course, and we're going to pick back up very soon with all brand new episodes.
And your point about getting a travel advisor is very poignant. And I'll tell
Very
you why.
important.
I went on a trip and I told my travel agent, going to Cancun, I'd been there 3 times already, and I told him I do not want to be in this area, Cancun, on the 7th. I do not want to be in this area. And lo and behold, I get there. This company had 3 different hotels, and I end up in the junk one. And I try to get, it was a Sunday. I couldn't get a hold of my travel agent, of course. I get a hold of her Monday, and she would not make a change. I said, "You're making a big mistake. So I ended up staying in this terrible hotel. And I got back, and it ended up on the Today Show. There was a group that went there too, and that same thing, bait and switch.
Terrible. And that brings me to, not all travel advisors are created equal. And this Sunday on WNJC, I'm sorry,
Go
on
ahead.
WNAC at 8:30 a.m. on Sunday morning, I can guarantee it will be on. The episode is about exactly that. Not all travel agents are
There
created
you go.
equal.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, Bob.
Constance.
Great to see you.
Connie. Nice to meet you.
Only the nuns called me Constance.
Yeah, like my mother. It's the only one that called me Robert.
Right, exactly. Especially when you're in trouble.
All the time. Connie Wallace. Thank you, folks, for spending an hour with Bob and Connie.
Thank you for having me, Bob. Great to be here.
Until next time. See ya.
Until next time. There'll be a next time.
There'll be a next time.